Going beyond a sense of like belonging, I want to create spaces that are a source of inspiration. In the marketing world too, you have to be so adaptable because it's just constantly changing. By learning from failures and trying again and again and again, you're kind of creating your own luck.
All right, welcome back to Bourbon with the Bluegrass Babes. My name is Lee, and we are here today with Katie. Katie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so I am a mama to two perfect angel boys and a wife and the owner of Hartley Social. We focus on digital marketing strategy, primarily for folks in the real estate industry. Yeah.
I love.
So how did you get into that?
I mean, okay, I can sit here and say that I didn't know I was going to do something in marketing, but there are stories of my parents walking in on me filming fake commercials in the bathroom mirror.
I love it.
My mom owned a business when I was growing up, and I would literally hand out her business cards and like give her business's elevator pitch to random people on the street. So I think it's safe to say that was always there a little bit. And then as I got older, I think I kind of felt like a jack of all trades. I felt like I had all these different interests and I didn't know how to channel them into something. So I worked random jobs for a couple of years, and then I got connected with someone who owned a small local agency, and he just kind of happened to be taking interns at the time, so I went for it, and then within a month that internship turned into a full-time job.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was there for a couple of years, but I kind of got burnt out on the client roster. It was like all beer, and there are so many ways to describe a beer. So I started taking on some freelance work, and that allowed me to leave my full-time job there. And then it was just sort of a natural progression, really kind of quickly, within like a couple of months, to starting Hartley Social.
That's so exciting. Now, you said that your mom is an entrepreneur. So did you ever think that you were also going to follow in her footsteps as an entrepreneur?
I think so, yeah. I think at the end of the day, I always knew I would be doing my own thing in some capacity. I just didn't know what exactly that was.
Exactly how to tie it all together. Yeah.
Do you think that was just something that you observed and learned, or do you think it's like genetic? Like, hey, your mom's that way, so...
Probably both.
A little bit of both?
Yeah, I mean, in so many ways, I'm so much like my mom, but then we are polar opposites in other ways. But my dad, bless his heart, I mean, he's great, but he doesn't have an entrepreneurial bone in his body. He's one of those, like, I get up, I go to work, I do my work.
He likes the structure.
Exactly. Yeah, he's very, like, structure oriented, so.
I love that. Yeah. I know you said you had like a bunch of interests growing up too.
Yeah.
Don't you see that is prevalent with people that have like the creative mindset? Like
Definitely.
They're just naturally curious.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that everything, even in like the most unexpected ways, kind of comes together to define your strengths. Like doing theater as a kid, like, you know, I feel like that's helped in like public speaking and being on camera and things like that, you know, maybe, you know, of course, when you're a kid, you think you're going to be a movie star, but like these things come to help later in unexpected ways, which is cool.
Yeah. I'll call it the scenic route.
There we go. I like it. Yeah.
I took the scenic route to real estate, but every stop along the way kind of
Built that.
it comes together
I feel
and
like
helps you in
people
a
who
way.
have that like gene or characteristic or however you want to describe it, it's not that they get bored, but once they get into one situation and they kind of like master it, they're ready for the next thing. So it's nice that like in your business, like you can pull other like careers and stuff and like start learning something new to market. You know what I mean? It keeps it interesting.
Definitely.
It keeps you like your wheels turning.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, just in the marketing world too, you have to be so adaptable because it's just constantly changing. So if you don't have that ability to
think outside the box.
Pivot, then
Pivot. Every time somebody says that, I think of the Friends episode.
Pivot. Now, you said you are a mom and you recently just had your second.
I did. I have a 20-month-old River and I have a 3-month-old Cohen.
So how is it balancing that and a whole business?
A shit show.
River is like so chill. Like, he's the chillest baby I've ever met. Not that he's like a super baby anymore, but like, he's so chill.
He's amazing. I will say he's starting to get into his like terrible twos.
Terrible twos, they're
so
coming.
everything is no. I mean, but he's like so cute when he says it, so I can't be mad. I'm like, God, you're just so handsome. But yeah, no, it's the best. But it's pure mayhem. 2 boys, and they have like totally polar opposite needs. Like Cohen just wants to be held constantly, and River just wants to go. So
Want you to chase him while you're holding Cohen?
yes, yeah. I mean, Cohen spends like 90% of his life in the carrier strapped to my chest, and I'm like holding his head so it doesn't bounce around too much while I'm running after River. It's a sight.
It's pure magic, though. It's like
It
chaotic magic.
It is, yeah.
You will miss it.
Oh, I know, yeah. Even like,
I promise you will.
it's a lot, but yeah,
Might take a minute, but yeah, you'll miss it.
definitely.
So what would you say is like the legacy or like the impact that you want to leave behind with this?
I think that is sometimes a tricky one for me to answer, because there are so many things that I'm kind of trying to tie all together. Like recently, I've gotten a lot more interested in real estate and development, and personally, I'm doing my first investment property right now, so that's really exciting. So I don't know, to try to like
Generalize
make an
it.
all-encompassing
Yeah.
statement. I think kind of at the heart of everything that I do is I want to create spaces for people where they just feel like, hell yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not even just physical spaces, but to me, like, anything can be a space, There's the online space, even like a brand is a space. So just going beyond a sense of like belonging, I want to create spaces that are a source of inspiration.
You want people to be proud of like what you've helped them create and what they're creating.
Yeah, and I want to be a facilitator, like not to get all Psych 101, but like I want to meet the needs at like the top of the hierarchy pyramid. Like I want to facilitate people just like making awesome things and creating change and connecting on like a deep level, and also just like feeling cool and feeling good and feeling empowered and inspired by their surroundings.
I think what you do is basically you're helping people tell their story. Yes. So like with a brand, I know a lot of people don't buy into brands per se. They will. They're just slow to the game.
Yeah.
But a brand is essentially telling your story through colors and typography and all the cool stuff. So
Absolutely,
I think
yeah.
you're helping people be seen.
Yeah.
So
I feel like
think it's really
everybody
cool.
needs their brand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I feel like brand maybe just gives it like not a negative connotation, but a connotation to it that,
Yeah.
people don't like, I don't know, when I think of brand, I think of like Kellogg's or,
Right.
like,
Yeah, there's definitely that association. But I think the way that people need to think about it is like not choosing is still a choice. Regardless of whether you're putting the thought and intention behind it, it's going to be perceived a certain way. So why not have it be perceived the way that you want it to be perceived?
Right. You're going to create a brand whether you realize it or not.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, one's going to be created whether you take control over it or you just let somebody organically, perceive yourself. Like you're going to be branded one way or another. So
Yeah.
might as well let Katie do it for you.
Yeah, might as well let Katie do it.
Only we knew someone.
Well, and you're so good at what you do, and so it's so funny to hear that like you weren't really sure like what you were gonna do as a kid, and that you kind of bounced around. So, what would be some wisdom that you would give to your younger self now that you know what you know?
Gosh, if we're being totally honest, I'd probably just give myself some Powerball numbers. But in all seriousness, I don't know. I think sometimes I think there's a tendency for entrepreneurs, and probably more so women too, to be like extra hard on ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
So I think I would just tell myself to enjoy the ride a little bit more, and probably just to not have my whole identity wrapped up in my work, because that will break your heart.
Yeah.
Oh, so hard.
I can't remember who it was, but I was talking to someone yesterday and I was like, if I ever leave the career that I'm in now, I will literally have to change Facebook, phone number, email, all of it, because you're so wrapped into like your career, especially in our like field, I feel like, that like if you leave, like you have to start over.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
you have to just start fresh.
Yeah, you're totally pouring yourself into something. And also there's a little bit of pride too. Like when you built something, you don't want anything to be perceived as a failure. So, you know.
For me, as an agent, and like I'm essentially selling myself, it's extremely difficult to keep business and personal separated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we do. I know I don't.
I don't think I can.
I know I don't.
haven't
which
mastered that
sucks.
yet. Like
But
I'm still under 2 years, obviously. So hopefully that's something I'll figure
maybe
out.
that's something,
but-
yeah, like down the road. But I feel like even like, you know, more, I don't want to say experienced agent, but like, you know, people that have been in the business and stuff, like that's how they identify themselves. You know, like that's what they identify with, like that's what they live through. So it's, I feel like it's hard to separate, but that's why you want to build a good one, know?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think that is honestly one of the things that, you know, in talking with agents, that seems to be one of their biggest pain points is like the mix of personal to business content, and just how to have the two coexist. And I think you have to treat it like a persona. It's not really you. It's just like, you know, a TV host goes on air and, you know, then when they're off, they're off.
Right.
I don't know.
So,
I feel, sorry not to cut you off, but if I see a actor in a movie, that is who I think they are forever.
yeah.
I can't see them in another type of movie
For
after
sure,
that.
yeah. I think from the public perception, that's how you see it. And I think that's fine. But like for your own sanity, you have to, you put parts of yourself into it. You take certain personality traits or whatever, and that's a part of your like public persona, but it's not you.
You. Okay.
Kind of like Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
Like her whole
Yes.
identity was created.
It was.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of celebrities, but that's branding because they have those, you know, marketing people. And I feel like that's something else going back to the whole childhood advice thing. I feel like out of all of the people we've had on BBB, you would probably be the hardest one to answer that because not that marketing wasn't a thing when we were children, but it definitely wasn't a large career choice. Marketing is definitely something that's like,
Social media has catapulted it
so much in the past couple years.
And it was just such a different animal.
It was a
different
like marketing. Yeah.
It was
What
MySpace.
does it even mean? Like you just have lots of business papers and briefcases. Like
I got you in the newspaper this week. You know?
yeah, I was like wasn't okay. Angelica's mom on Rugrats, wasn't she like a marketing exec?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
of like high heels and a briefcase.
And glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Well,
It's a
like-
completely different career then.
Totally.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember watching Desperate Housewives. I don't know if you go,
Yes.
but they are, or I forget what the couple name is. Anyway, they were in marketing and like, but their marketing was like commercials, which like, I don't even watch commercials anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have cable. I pay extra every month to not watch commercials.
Yes.
Like they are talking about ads in newspapers. Like that's becoming obsolete. Like flyers, like all of that is becoming obsolete.
Yes, it is.
Social media has catapulted the marketing world into a digital world.
It really has, yeah.
You think about it, like back in kindergarten, I have this video of me where they go around and they say, you know, you have to say your name, what grade you're in, what you want to be when you grow up. When we were doing that, social media wasn't a thing. So you couldn't be like, I want to be a social media manager.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine saying that?
I want to be an
feel like it was, like,
influencer.
Yeah, every kid wants to be an influencer.
Yeah,
wanna
it
be
was like
an
doctor, firefighter, cop. Like,
And now it's like YouTuber is an option now. It's what Grayson wants to be.
a YouTuber?
He wants to be
Okay,
a
well, I support
YouTuber.
it because the money I see them make.
I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, my niece wants to be Hannah Montana. So.
love that.
I had the same dream.
Yeah,
Right.
not
Hey,
gonna
you're
lie.
halfway there.
Halfway there.
Hannah?
She was the first concert I ever went to, fun fact.
Love that.
It was in 5th grade, and I was hot shit for having those tickets. I'm just saying. She came to Rupp. Does anybody remember this?
No.
No? Okay, I was the only one who got tickets. No, dude. It was like a big thing.
Miley Cyrus is super talented.
Oh my
we are
goodness.
way down the rabbit hole right now.
We
Yeah,
are,
we are.
But she does have one of those voices that doesn't need
She can sing
auto-tuned.
anything.
Yeah, it's not a fake voice. She's good live. We really have devoured off
Yeah.
the topic.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
to bring it back, she really changed her brand though.
Yes.
She
He
really,
really
good
did.
point.
she really did. She did,
went
and I think she did a great
from
job.
best
She
of
was
both
like, you know what?
worlds.
I don't want to be this person. That Hannah Montana is not me. Like, I'm going to show y'all the real me, and she has taken it and ran with it.
You know
She
what?
took
She
off
may
the
be
wig
one
and
of the
never
only-
looked back.
Yeah, I love it. I'm like, you go, girl.
Oh, you know who else did that well? Taylor Swift. She went from, and I know you're
Yeah.
a big T Swift
I'm
fan.
a big
She
Taylor
actually
Swift
wanted
fan.
me to go to the concert with her, and I was like,
And they were
honestly,
a
I
little
haven't-
expensive.
Not that
Yeah, weren't
I
tickets like
don't
$1
know.
million?
They were
Yes.
Like, I
we're
will
not
sell
that
my
rich.
kidney and
Yeah.
you sell yours, and
Yeah,
we will.
and we'll
yeah,
go.
we'll
But
go.
she was straight country, and then went to she's like pop more.
She is
so
her
now.
own genre.
Yeah, she's like her own genre, and like she just went through the roof, and she did well throughout the entire thing. You know, I feel like usually when people change their brands, there's a pivot.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't happen for either one of them.
Yeah.
Like they just took it and ran with it.
Yeah, they did. I love watching like all of the Disney Channel stars go through their like inevitable like bad girl phase,
Yes.
and then like eventually get back to like some baseline.
Leveled out.
Yeah.
It's true. Every single one.
Oh yeah.
At least until the Disney contract expires.
Well, true.
Well, and I feel like a lot of them dip out afterwards. You know what I mean? Like the who were the twins, the spouse twins, Cody and Dylan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like they're not really in anything. I know Cody, was it Cody or Dylan that was in the Riverdale? Cole.
I think.
Yeah.
It could have been Cole. I was
You're
calling
right.
him Cody, but like he stayed active, but you know Dylan, he was just like, no, not my brand anymore.
I was an early 90s baby, so none
You
of these
didn't
are
watch
ringing
Sweet
a
Life of Zack
bell
and
for-
Cody?
I did not.
Wow, we're like really like right in a row because I definitely watched The Sweet Lives of Zack and Cody.
I'm 92, but I definitely watched it.
Okay, my favorite episode was the joiner of the Hannah Montana and That's So Raven. Best episode ever. Best episode ever. You gotta watch it. What are you doing?
I have a list.
What did you
apparently.
watch?
What did I watch? Early? I did the old movies, like Pocahontas was my jam.
You didn't have TV?
I
You
did.
didn't watch Disney Channel?
I did. Sometimes. Okay, I'll be honest. It was Scooby-Doo. It was Tweety Bird.
That's all
It was
Cartoon
like-
Network.
I know.
You need to learn the channels here.
I will
Need to
fight
expand.
you.
You need to expand. Actually, you need to go back and then
I need to go back and expand.
Do you have Disney Plus?
I do have Disney Plus.
What are you waiting for? It's all on there.
Here we go.
Are the shows on there?
I think so. I know I've watched
Okay.
That's So Raven on there.
Nice.
Okay, well, I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Love it.
Not gonna
Okay,
be disappointed.
how much luck has played into your journey, would you say?
My journey specifically. Oh man.
Can you pinpoint anything that you're like, that was just pure luck that I walked into that? Like, would you say like your internship, like was that something that you just kind of like lucked into?
So, okay, I saw a quote years ago that has stuck with me that said, luck is residual hard work. And I think that is a load of crap. I'm kidding. No, I think that's mostly true.
I was over here shaking my head.
I'm like, yeah.
I think that's mostly true. I guess I just think like the phrase hard work kind of paints the picture of like, if you pick one goal and you work relentlessly, you will be successful. And like, I don't think that it's like that at all. I think that you have to remember for every one success, there are 100 failures. And for that one success, there are 100 lessons that you've learned along the way. So by learning from failures and trying again and again and again, you're kind of creating your own luck. And I think the other part of it is just taking opportunities. You know, luck, you can't have good luck if you're not giving it a chance.
Yeah.
So I think that there are so many success stories that start with what seems like a break or some kind of like advantage in the form of an opportunity, but how many people don't take opportunities? Like,
Very true.
you know, for fear that it's not going to work out or for fear that you're not going to be good enough to make it successful. I think we squander so many opportunities. So I think by just like saying yes and putting yourself out there more, you are again kind of creating your own luck,
Yeah.
giving it a chance.
Yeah. I love that.
love
You
that.
miss
Yeah.
100% of the shots you don't
You
take.
don't take. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, if-
Wayne
yeah, if
Gretzky,
you're not out
Michael
there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Let me tell you, if I make a basketball shot, that is 1,000% luck. That I
Okay,
will
but
say
in
with
most other
confidence.
scenarios.
I don't know. I see those guns.
That's
Well,
hard work.
when you were saying that though, it just made it, I don't know, it brought me back to Hannah Montana. Go figure.
Like all things do.
Like all things do. But I mean, her dad was Billy Ray Cyrus,
Right?
you know, so
Yeah.
obviously that was like an advantage or like a luck point. Do you think like
She was born into that family.
born into it, but she still auditioned And, you know, she still went through the cycle.
That one I struggle with. Did you guys see all like the nepotism baby discourse that was going on recently?
No.
It was like all of these people were called out for being nepotism babies because their parents were like in showbiz.
There was a model that wore a T-shirt because I remember that.
It was
that
Hailey
said,
Bieber, yeah.
Yes, Hailey Bieber wore a shirt that said nepotism baby, and I like trying to like kind of make fun of it.
Right. Yeah. There were all different responses from people being like pissed for being called a nepotism baby to other people being like, yeah, you're right. Like if my dad wasn't so and so, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So I don't know. I mean, I think you have to recognize privilege, but at the same time, there are plenty of celebrity babies who just like don't.
Yeah.
So,
and who knows if like she wasn't, you know, Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter, that she still wouldn't have been in the position she's in. You know what I mean?
Well, and I also try to think too, like just because like you're a childhood star, just because all of these things, like, is it truly luck? Like, is that truly like what's really going on behind the scenes? You know, like you just said, like most Disney stars, like they fall off because it was childhood actors go through hell.
Yeah.
You know, so like, is it really luck? Like, or did they just kind of get thrown into this?
And I feel like a lot of them can't change that persona. Like I was saying, like, you know, once you're an actor in one sort of movie, it's hard to like move to like if you're in like comedy movies and stuff, sometimes it's hard to move to like more serious things because people don't look at you that way.
Yeah, like
And I feel
Daniel
the
Radcliffe.
same
I was
thing,
literally
like,
just thinking Daniel Radcliffe cannot be in anything
Harry
because
Potter.
he's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, what are
And
you
it's
doing
just
in
like
this
the
horror
same thing
film?
with,
Yeah.
like Disney Channel stars. Like once you see them playing like a certain role, you can't take them like
Seriously.
serious
Definitely.
in another one.
Definitely. Going off topic because this made me think of one particular actor. Okay, so did you guys see on Netflix, it was like the history of like curse words or something. It was a series.
No, but I want to watch it.
Right?
I do
It was
too.
really fun. So what actor do you think has the most on-screen profanity of all time?
Actor, actress.
Charlie Sheen.
Actor. No.
Oh.
It's gonna blow your mind. It blew my mind at least.
Jim Carrey. All right, I'm out of guesses.
What was the last movie? I watched National Treasures. Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage was the host of the show, funnily enough.
What? That's so funny.
I was
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
You gotta guess. Just guess somebody.
Oprah Winfrey.
But that is far-fetched. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have thought about
It's Jonah Hill.
Oh!
My mind went to like someone who's been in a ton of like mafia movies, like
Yes.
Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio, or he was at the top of the list, or close to the top of the list. But yeah, Jonah Hill. And I feel like he has done a really good job of kind of transitioning to more serious roles, like, you know, from Superbad. Although all of them, when you think about it, it makes sense because he has horrible language in all of them.
This was the
But
movies
I
that-
Early movies.
Yeah,
are
I love
definitely-
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I know. That one, I say that to
That's such a
everyone.
fun fact. I love
A
that.
very fun fact.
I'm gonna keep that noted. Yeah. I don't think he would have been my first guess.
I was just
but-
thinking like Charlie Sheen because like he's such a shit, you know?
Yes,
So I was like,
Charlie Sheen
oh,
would've
like
definitely been up there. Yeah.
Well,
haven't seen
I
him
do
in
want to say
anything
I think that it was movies, so I don't know
If like TV shows
the
count.
TV show.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
could go either way.
Fun fact.
I feel like a lot of TV shows they can't cuss on anymore though.
Right, unless it's HBO.
Yes.
No rules.
Then it's no rules.
Or Showtime.
Or sure.
All about it, those are my favorites. So I think
Just
that
like
says
those
more
are the
about
ones
me
I
than it
pick.
does anyone else. But well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me. This has been fun. I kind of like forget what it's like to talk to adults. Like, am I going to be able to do this?
You can come hang out with us anytime.
Yeah, anytime.